everybody and welcome back to a new video. If you have seen my last video, it was a short video about why I haven't posted last week. In short, I am a wedding videographer as well, and I had a wedding last week with a lot of preparations. I'm a little busy with editing, but I still want to do these videos. I have had a question from a friend of mine who wanted to know more about singleness and just waiting for your future spouse. And it was all because of one post on Instagram. So I love this question, like, can you tell me more about this? I love talking about how to be intentional in your single season, because I am in a single season myself and I am trying to be intentional with my future husband as well, and also just making the most out of this single season. So I want to share with you guys some honest and real stuff. I'm going to share about my past relationships and how I've learned from them, and then what I am doing right now to prepare myself for my future husband. I have had the privilege of seeing a lot of relationships and marriages as well fail. And my relationships failed 2 times. I have learned so much from it because I'm a really reflective person. I love self-improvement and I want to know if I make a mistake, what I could do next time to not make that mistake again. So these videos are going to be 5 videos because I have 5 points that I want to share with you, and they're actually so deep that I cannot do it in just one video. So I'm just gonna do it in 5 videos. So honest and real, here we go. So when I started thinking about relationships, I actually always said to God, like, God, I want my first boyfriend to be my husband. So please help me to figure out who it is, and I will only date the person who's gonna be my future husband. But as soon as the first guy showed interest in me, I was like, this is it. No one would ever like me, but he's an exception, so I need to date him and he's gonna be my future husband. But after 2.5 months of our relationship, he cheated on me, and I can talk about it lightly right now, but I guess I was 18 when I got into my first relationship, and I was like heartbroken. Not only because he cheated on me, but also because my first boyfriend was not my future husband, clearly. I knew he wasn't my husband because since I was a little girl, I think from like 12 years old, I've always been little, but since I was like 12 years old, God put the word purity on my life. And I was like, I'm not gonna have sex before I'm married. I am gonna be pure, and I wanna be able to stand in front of my husband on our wedding day in a white dress because it replicates purity. And it's like, really, I wanna be pure as I stand before him. So him doing that for me was like, I'm not even... I already didn't know my identity. But him cheating on me was like next level hurt. It was like, okay, so the one guy who I thought would be my future husband doesn't value me wanting to be pure, so he goes and finds it with someone else. And that really hurt me so bad and really put like some kind of label on me that I was unworthy to wait for. I thought it was going to be different in my next relationship because I really learned from this. So I took more time to date the guy. It actually turned out to be quite the same. We both didn't really knew our identities, and that's where it went wrong, because we didn't know what we were worthy of and we didn't really know who we were, that we were just conflicting with each other every time. We were both beautiful people, but not together. We were not ready for a relationship. And it was just conversations, conflicts, a lot of times. It was all because I didn't really know who I was, that these relationships were not working out. Because I was trying to find my identity in what the guy was thinking of me, but not in what God was saying of me. So here I was. I came out of my second relationship and I was like, I thought my first boyfriend would be my husband, God. My dream shattered and I really lost hope. So I was like, God, I am gonna be single for a while and I'm gonna go after your heart. I was chasing after guys who weren't ready to be a king. So why would I be chasing him to be his queen? That's a lyric from a song that really hit me hard. I'm gonna share more about that song later, but I was really chasing boys because I put my identity in him and I thought they would make me feel worthy. If they give me love, then I'm worthy of love. I thought that as soon as I would get a boyfriend, all my problems would be fixed because I would have someone that I would go through those problems with. But boo, no one can fix you. Just Jesus. And I figured that out. So I chose to go to BSSM, Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry. And if you see my videos, it's a school, it's basically a Bible school, but so much deeper than that. It's a first year is all about your identity. So that was what I was fixated on. Like, God, show me who I am. Show me what I'm worthy of. And I just want to go deeper with my relationship with you, because I noticed that every time I would get into a relationship, my relationship with God would go on a lower level, and I would put him on number one and God under that. And that was just such a wrong balance. So for 9 months, I said, God, here I am. I surrender all. I came with nothing. And I was like, God, just please teach me stuff, because I cannot go through more of these relationships. And I just want to share a few things that I've learned that are so key to, if you're single right now, if you're watching this video, you're single and waiting because you do want a future spouse, you do want a good marriage. No one wants a bad marriage, but your preparation for your marriage starts now. It really starts now. And I just figured out why God made people single. He created us single, as a single person. He put Adam on earth. He didn't put Adam and Eve on earth married. He really created Adam first and Eve, and then he brought them together, and he was like, she is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. And then he saw, okay, you are the one that I'm supposed to be with. She was the only choice, but you know what I mean. So this video will be the first tip, and here we go. Number 1, we are waiting, but active. I want to start with saying that I don't like the term waiting. It sounds like you're just sitting back, relaxing until your future spouse comes. And it sounds like your life is gonna start the moment your future spouse will walk into your life. But that's not true. I was trying to find out who I was in my relationship. And yes, that is possible. There are a lot of people who are going through identity crises and they're in a relationship, and that's okay. Like, you can do that. You can go through it together. But in your single season, it's actually a beautiful time to work on your own identity, so that you know who you are and you know what you deserve when you meet him. And honestly, I was putting my identity, my worth in my relationship status. I was seeing relationships all around me, and me, same age or even older than other people who were in relationships. I was like, they have a relationship, I don't. Like, God, where is my husband? I was like, when I have a boyfriend, then I am complete. Then I am worthy. As a single person, you might scroll to your Instagram or through Facebook, and you'll see all these beautiful relationships. I was also doing this, and I was like, if I would just have a relationship like theirs, then I would be happy. I would see like traveling couples and all kinds of cute kissing couples, and I would be thinking that if I would have a relationship like theirs, then my life would be awesome. Then my life would have purpose. Even when I broke up with my last boyfriend, people were saying, but you looked so cute on Instagram. You looked so perfect. Like, it didn't seem like you had any flaws, no problems. Little did they know that we had problems every day, and we had to go through them together. And that's basically what a relationship is. It is, hey, is this the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with? Through bad or worse, like, we're going through it, but you don't see that on photos. You don't see the bad times in photos. So that's why people breaking up always comes to a shock for us, because we were like, what? You look perfect on Instagram. Like, that's what we want people to see, because we don't want them to see our problems. So this YouTube for me is like, hey, I'm not perfect. My Instagram might look perfect, but I'm not perfect. And let me tell you, you're neither. We're not perfect people. So when I figured out that I was putting my identity in my relationships, I asked God, God, please show me who you say I am, not who other people think I am, not who I reflect myself as, like unworthy because I'm not in a relationship, stuff like that. But God, show me who I am. So I was waiting, but I was active. And I'm still active. I'm still waiting, I'm still active. And when I was like 14, I guess, I was watching this series with my sister, and I would never forget it. Some series, just like some quotes are still in my mind, but this one burned into my head. I think because it was really important. But it was from Andy Stanley, and it was a relationship series. And he was saying that if you're in a single season and you're looking for someone, you really like have an idea of someone that you would want to date. Well, he said, be the person who the person you're looking for is looking for. And that is a really complicated sentence, but it's basically like, hey, this is what I want. I even made a list of things like, hey, I would want this in a future husband. But that list of things, would that person, that guy, be looking for me? So I figured out that the things that I wanted in a future husband was not my own strengths or anything. I thought of things that my future husband would have so that I wouldn't have to do those things. So one of those things, one example was, I wanted a future husband who would be rooted in the Word, who would read it every day, and who would like be able to do studies on the Word and everything. And it was because I was not doing that. I found it really hard to read the Bible, and I was having so much struggles. Basically, that guy from my list was not looking for me because I was not close to the future wife that he would want. So I want to close this video with this. Please wait for the one that God has for you, but don't be passive. Figure out your identity, figure out your purpose. It is really important that you already think about, what do I want with my life? And how can I grow to become the person that I'm looking for is looking for?